I don't really know what to say at the moment. Finding the world a little bit overwhelming and kind of tough, which I'm sure is not a unique feeling. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way. I'm finding social media a little bit overstimulating. I'm finding the news a bit overwhelming, and I don't know what to say. Like, I don't feel like I have anything to say at the moment. I don't want to talk about it because I feel like we shouldn't be focusing on negative things. I don't want to not talk about it because that feels disrespectful. I don't want to talk about anything else because that feels disrespectful. I just kind of feel like I don't really want to say anything. I just don't know what to say. But I'm okay. I'm fine. It's just, I guess I am not taking a break from social media, but I'm trying to be aware of how much I'm using it. I don't think it's a positive place to be right now. I think it's giving me and a lot of people a very warped view of how bad the world is right now. Don't get me wrong, it's bad. I don't think it's that bad. I think there are positive things going on, but I don't think it's appropriate to post about them and try and promote them right now because there's so much sadness. I'm finding a lot of comfort in real interactions with real people. Little things like going to the shop and asking the person behind the counter how their day is, and them asking me how mine is, and they're both fine. Absolutely fine days that we're both having. And being with my family and being with my friends and my loved ones. I'm finding that very comforting right now. I'm not finding Twitter or Facebook very comforting. I'm finding it very, very overwhelming. And I know this is not a novel idea, but it almost feels like it is in the 21st century. But I would suggest, if you are also feeling overwhelmed, just go and have some real interactions with real people, and remember that people are so good. So many of them are good. Because the news and social media is not painting the world that way right now, but it really is not so bad. Also finding a lot of comfort in reading old books that I used to read when I was a child. One of those books I found while I was at home with my mum, and it's called Pollyanna. It was my favourite book when I was kind of, even into my as a teenager, it's my favourite book. It says Charlotte's best book ever. That's my handwriting when I was a child. Finding a lot of comfort in reading this. I was actually reading it about 3 in the morning when I was horribly jet lagged, thinking about what is going to happen next in this awful world. I highly recommend, if you're feeling completely overwhelmed and lost right now, go and find a book that you used to love when you were a child and read it. Such a lovely thing. And I think let's have a little interaction here, because I've nearly finished Pollyanna for the 58th time. What's your favourite book? Whether you're when you were a child or just in general, what is your favourite book? I want to read it. In fact, do you know what I'm gonna do? Please write your favourite book, and then I'm going to make a video of me going to a bookshop trying to find them. Please put the title and the author of your favourite book, and then I'm going to go to a bookshop and I'm going to buy all of your books and I'm going to read them all. I don't know what drew me to this book, but I know what I love about it now is that I can see how it shaped me as a person. It's just a classic story about a little orphan girl called Pollyanna. Her father used to play a game with her called the Glad Game, and the aim of the game is to try and find something to be glad about in every situation. So it sounds like so hippy dippy and rubbish, but when I was a child I thought it was the best game ever, and I thought it was such a great book. And it is, it's such a great book. They're very poor and they can't afford to buy anything, but they get these donation barrels from the Ladies' Aid. So her father puts in a request for Pollyanna to have a doll. Ladies' Aid doesn't get any doll donations, so they're like, we're really sorry, we couldn't get you a doll, but we're sending you these crutches for you to play with instead. Nancy, who is a very negative, skeptical character, is talking to Pollyanna about that, and is like, but how can you be glad that you've got crutches when you wanted a doll? Pollyanna says, well, just got to be glad that you don't need them. It's easy when you know how. I was going to read you something from this, but I'm just going to read you a line that I really like and that I think is important to remember. Is that the glad game gets easier the more you play it. I knew I'd find things to be glad about. You see, when you're hunting for the glad things, you sort of forget the other kind. It can seem silly sometimes, like futile, to try and find silver linings all the time, because sometimes it can seem like there's nothing to be glad about. The more you look for silver linings, the more they appear to you without you having to actually search for them. I would encourage everyone to read this book, play the Glad Game, and suggest books that I should read. They don't have to be positive books. I just want to read more. I just want to read more things that aren't my Twitter feed. Okay, have a good day. Bye.